Are you ready?
Agility from the champion. Oh, Jesus! That could be it. Delivers this deep six.
This is episode 109. Guess what? I am joined by Christopher Roan. And
What
guess
up?
what? This is our first Monday night post show in nearly 3 years. Can you believe that?
That's crazy.
3 years. Because we just do things on a whim, like a Friday night, a Saturday night, or PLE. This is our first Monday night post show, and I'm really excited about it. Tonight's Monday Night Raw had a couple builds, progression towards WrestleMania. So we saw some progression in various matches. A lot of the main stars were not used in the ring tonight. It was a lot of mid-carders fighting. We still had some pretty good matches, but I feel like we have to jump in right away. We could run down everything else quick.
Yeah.
But I feel like we have to jump in right away as to what happened tonight at the end of Raw. I would say I did not see this coming. Cody Rhodes took quite the beatdown tonight. Unbelievable. So before we jump in, let me set the stage for you for what happened. I know you didn't see the very beginning of Raw, but that's okay. Let's set the stage. So we had the segment. It was relatively early in the show. Let me see when that was. Was that 9 o'clock? What time was that at? Why did I not take notes on this? Okay. All right. Apparently, I did not even take notes on... but we get Cody Rhodes in the ring. And he is being endeared by the crowd. He's talking about how, his usual, he's going to beat Roman Reigns. And then we have The Rock come out. The Rock and Cody Rhodes. Rock comes in the ring. Looks at Cody Rhodes. This is going on for 2 minutes. So this basically is starting the show. Okay, there we go. So Cody is rallying the crowd and talking about how he's going to defeat Roman Reigns. And then, of course, the commentators rally and talk about The Rock. Everybody's calling him the final boss now. So the final boss comes out. So they have this stare down like that's about to happen behind me again because I got it on replay. They have this stare down for like 2 minutes, Chris. 2 minutes they have this stare down, and then Rock says nothing, and then he whispers something to Cody. And then he walks away. The crowd boos him. Later on, so maybe around the 9:30 time slot, maybe close to 10, we see Cody Rhodes backstage. So it's probably more closer to 9:30, halfway through the show. Jackie Redmond goes to Cody, asking Cody Rhodes, "What did The Rock tell you?" And then Cody Rhodes says, basically, I'm not going to answer that right now. It's nothing that The Rock can follow up and keep his promise on. And then Cody Rhodes walks away. So we get the main event. And Jey Uso is about to go out to the ring. And Seth Rollins basically says, and Jey Uso says, they say to each other, something doesn't feel right. And Seth Rollins is like, I got you back. Minutes prior, we see the Bloodline. We see Jimmy Uso. We see Solo confront Jey Uso. So that's what happened. So we knew the Bloodline was in the building. Seth and Jay agree in Gorilla that something's not right. Seth says to Jay, "Don't worry, I got your back." So this is where it all starts to unfold. If those of you guys that are watching, feel free to leave some comments. I would love to hear what you guys have to say about how this ended tonight. So basically, we get the match, decent match. I feel like it was just kind of there. Nakamura, that early in the night, Nakamura is like, "I'm gonna end you," and what have you. So that's how they set that match up. It was just there. Decent match. While this match is going on, we know Bloodline's in the building already. And then we see Jimmy and Solo come out. We see Seth and Cody take out Jimmy and Solo. We see Drew McIntyre then come out and takes out Seth. So Seth is knocked out. He's done. He's out of the equation. Solo's already handled. The fight continues with Jimmy. Solo then so the fight with Cody spills to the back with Jimmy. So now we got Cody and Jimmy back there. Solo eventually makes his way back there. While this is happening, Jey gets his win. Then we see Cody taking it to Jimmy and Solo, no problem. Then comes The Rock with the attack from behind. And boy, did Rock whip Cody's butt tonight. Unbelievable. And I think that's an understatement. Hit him with the trash can. Threw him against the door. Dragged him out in the rain. Cody's already beaten up. Body, head smashed against Cody's own tray. The Rock is demanding the camera to look at him. And reason being, he's like, "Come on, Mama Rhodes, you see this? You see this, Mama Rhodes? Your boy's getting beaten up." And Cody get destroyed tonight by The Rock. And we saw blood. Scripted blood. For the first time. And God knows how long we've seen scripted blood. We've seen a lot of accidental blood. Bloody nose here and there, whatever. This is some good scripted blood. Intentional. The Rock totally destroyed Cody. Knocked out. Laying on the ground in the rain. And Rock even takes Cody's white weight belt, rubs it all over Cody's face, shows it to Mama Rhodes, and that's how Raw goes off the air. Unbelievable turn of events. This is really the true heel moment of The Rock that we've been kind of waiting for, because The Rock has been kind of like smiling and giddy all throughout his promos. I didn't like it, but this was some good heel Rock tonight, and he got some heat. Chris, I was down to you. What did you think of it?
Yeah, I was gonna ask. I was like, just me personally, do you think the Rock needs more heat going into WrestleMania, going into this this tag team match, or do you think people maybe aren't taking The Rock as serious as you said with these funny little singing promos that he is doing and making all these jokes? You think that people aren't taking The Rock serious going into this tag match?
I mean, I really wasn't taking him too serious as a heel, to be honest. But now I am. Now I mean, absolutely.
That's probably what they want.
And he's got more heat.
That people think that The Rock is piggybacking off Roman. Roman is that main guy, and then The Rock's saying, "Hold on, I can still be, aggressive. I can be, that, pain in your side, heel." And that's what That's what he's doing. He can do it. He's The Rock.
This is the heel side I've been waiting. If they're making Rock heel in this program, this is the heel side I've been waiting for The Rock. Absolutely.
Or do you think it's play? He's playing it to get into Roman's head.
That is very possible. So I mean,
did that ever cross your mind? By the way,
there is. Yeah, I mean, there is the theory that's been out there that Rock could be playing for both sides, and Cody doesn't really know it. But man, did Rock convincingly, proved to everybody he's the legit heel here, and you know, I have heard this theory before. I don't know. Where do you think this is going? Because I gave my opinion last night. I, along with the co-host last night, I gave my opinion to exactly where this might be going. But how do you think this is going to play out?
I mean, I've heard theories. I have my own opinions. I've heard theories. You never know what's true until it happens. But, you know, people have said, like, you know, the original plans for WrestleMania was not what is currently happening, as far as people know. I think they were originally going to do Rock versus Roman, and Cody wasn't supposed to win the Rumble, and Punk was supposed to win the Rumble, and Punk got hurt, so they called an audible, and Cody won. So, and then the whole promo on SmackDown with, you know, Cody saying, "Hey, this isn't my time," or whatever he said. And then The Rock came out and Rock challenged Roman, and we could do Rock versus Roman. And then people got pissed, and then they switched it up. I think that whole little segment of The Rock kind of whispering something to Cody was like, people think it's like the plan of Rock to join Roman and then go into the bloodline, cut it off so Cody can come in and take advantage. And this is all like a plan.
Yeah, I mean, so here's the thing.
Maybe we're getting too deep into it, because
that's fine.
Got to do, but
they've been building Cody for this entire year, even all the way up through the Rumble, and I've been predicting it on this show since WrestleMania 39 that it was going to be for a year now. Just about, I've been predicting that since WrestleMania went off the air 39 that week. Since that week, I've been calling for a rematch at WrestleMania 40. I believe that this was the plan all the way through Royal Rumble when Cody was challenging Reigns and made that motion, appointing that Reigns. I think the plan changed right after the Royal Rumble that week leading up to SmackDown. It totally makes sense the way it was done. That there was a plan change there, and that plan changed the week of the Rumble after the Rumble happened. And then when they decided to go in a different direction that Friday night in SmackDown, the crowd did not like that. Boy, did the WWE Universe. So that's why they had to go back to their plans of Roman versus Cody. And due to the overwhelming response, now WWE put themselves in a position where, okay, now we have to undo what we were starting to do with Roman. So basically, they undid their plans to go to Roman versus Rock, and now they had to undo that Rock-Roman plan to go back to the Cody versus Roman. So it just made zero sense, and that's why the crowd was totally in an uproar. But yeah, this was some really, really good progression. I think the progression of the night. Those of you guys that are watching, give us a like. This will help us out. Give us a like and share, and make sure you subscribe. This way you get the alerts. A lot of content coming to you guys within the next week or two, especially while I'm in Philly. So we had a comment here. Johnny, I know exactly what we're talking about. I was wondering the same thing. I was like, oh God, please do not throw Cody over that retaining wall, because that looked like a big drop, and what you didn't see was probably like a garage going down, and then under the arena where the cars park and go in and out and park in the arena underneath. So that's probably what that was, but it was dark, so that looked like a big drop. That was a good visual. I was a little scared. I'm like, oh no, do not throw Cody over that wall. That's all I was thinking. But instead, Rock just kept bashing Cody against the boss and just beat the ever living piss out of Cody tonight. Of course, it was all from Sneak Attack. So, but yeah, I did see that. That definitely crossed my mind. So that was a really good observation. I think WWE goes to Netflix. It will be when it becomes goes to Netflix. Will be TV 14. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that for a second. Without a doubt, there'll be. You won't have to worry about the censoring because that's getting out of control. And I get why they're doing it, but it just gets annoying how everything is constantly getting blurred out. And I mean, they don't even do that in sports games, but they do it on Raw, like whatever. But yeah. So Chris, I want to see if you agree with this statement. So I have Bloodline, Rock and Roman winning night one in the tag match. And I think that's going to be due to some kind of outside interference. Okay. As we saw tonight, I wouldn't be surprised if Drew interferes, Jimmy interferes, Solo, Bloodline, maybe a new guy interferes, Tama Tonga. So I see interference, and that probably won't work out in Seth and Cody's favor, which means we're going to get Cody versus Roman night 2, Bloodline rules. It's headed that way. Otherwise, there wouldn't be a stipulation for night 1. So sure. It's headed to there. Now, Bloodline rules. Anything goes. Night 2, Cody versus Roman. I have the Bloodline coming out. I have everybody in the Bloodline coming out. Interfering. Beating up on Cody. Anything goes. And then I have all of Cody's allies, and maybe even throw LA Knight in there. Maybe AJ Styles. Maybe Randy Orton. Maybe Kevin Owens. All the people that Roman Reigns screwed over. And I have them clearing out the Bloodline. And then I have Stone Cold Steve Austin's music hit. Taking The Rock out. Stone Cold taking his Philly 316 shirt off. Revealing the referee shirt. And I have Stone Cold Steve Austin counting the 3 count. Cody wins clean. Like they do a little thing last 5 minutes. Cody wins clean. Then you got Cody Rhodes' family. The dog Pharaoh comes out. Cody's all blooded. Confetti's going off. Fireworks. Cody celebrating. And that's how WrestleMania 40 goes off the air. Just like 30, 20, and 10. What do you think of that possibility?
The Stone Cold's a little bit of a stretch.
Well, he's getting in shape. And I'm hearing he's going to be there in Philly.
I agree with the outcomes. I mean, but obviously, like,
and also Seth Rollins a couple weeks ago kept on asking Cody, do you have a backup plan? Do you have a backup plan?
I think if Roman and The Rock win the tag match, they have to set up something to going into Roman and Cody night 2. Having a bunch of interferences, having, Cody's allies come out, help him. He, recovers and beats Roman. Maybe The Rock turns on Roman and helps Cody win, and it was the whole plan all along. But I think it's gotta end with Cody winning, just for WWE to shut up the fans for once.
Well, I
Just-
mean, Cody's like primed and ready.
Yeah, no, I think so. Like
He
I feel
is the
like fans
face of
want it so
WWE.
much, and WWE just wants to just all right. We're done. We can take the next step. Cody's our next champ. We'll build from there. We'll let Roman take his break, do whatever he needs to do. He'll come back when he's ready. Cody goes through X amount of people. You can have whatever stories in the middle of there, but I also, in the back of my head, I'd be lying to you to say that I would not be surprised if Roman won. I would not be surprised.
Like
He
how do you end
just
40
that
like
guy.
that?
He's that guy right now.
This is our biggest WrestleMania, and I know he's the
It's-
biggest name,
It's so
but you
like
need a major payoff, and that was Vince McMahon, WWE.
it's so like WWE in general to make the crowd want something so much just to take it away from them. It's so like it's happened before.
You just don't do that in Philadelphia. That place is gonna riot.
They love
The fans are gonna burn the stadium down, and I'm gonna help them.
Any reaction is a good reaction.
This is gonna be a serious reaction. That stadium is gonna burn down, and I will help. I will help. If my boss doesn't see me on Tuesday morning, he'll know why. I helped out with the riot.
Yeah.
That city is going to burn to the ground if Roman retains. You just do not do that. My gosh, imagine.
I don't think.
Get ready for Dave LaGreca's next episode.
I don't think Roman's winning. I personally don't think Roman's winning. But
I would say 10% of the universe believes that Roman's gonna win because always gotta break Hulk Hogan's record.
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan's record's not even the real record.
San
Martino. That means you have to keep the belt on Roman until 2028. We're halfway through though.
I mean, just for Roman to retain, and then maybe he drops it to him at SummerSlam, which is right after he beats Hogan. That's how the cards roll out. Like, I think SummerSlam is the day after Roman passes Hogan.
If Roman wins, I'm breaking the TV. I'm gonna break a lot of stuff. If you guys want to see me flip my lid on this post show, I hope I have a censor button for my computer because we try to keep the show PG and we do a good job of it. Oh man, that is gonna make for one interesting. And I'm not even gonna be home. I'm gonna be in Philadelphia.
I'll be
If
home.
Roman wins, I am going off because I think I'm gonna do this outdoors, outside the stadium, the post show, or maybe in a hotel room. But it's gonna get loud.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, if Roman walks out of Philadelphia champion, that city is going to absolutely riot.
That's what they want.
And they're saying, maybe Cody wins at the Garden, the Survivor Series, where his dad first won the title, but then lost it right away. I don't know about that. People may be tired of the whole finish the story by the time November runs. Cody should have won this belt last year. Then they would have not had the booking problem of this year. Fortunately, the finish the story storyline has been progressing all year. WWE kept on reminding you, finish the story. It's basically kept on building this up all year long. There's got to be a payoff here.
Yeah. But back to Raw, I guess.
Yeah. So that's that. First time we saw scripted blood in a long time. So we're going to buzz through this really quick. But that last 10-15 minutes, oh man, that's gonna make some for some good shorts, YouTube shorts over the next couple of weeks. I cannot wait. Anyway, um, I know who this guy is. He was so mad. He was so happy. This guy Caesar was so happy when they started going in the direction with Rock versus Cody. Absolutely so happy. And boy, did he quiet down a lot when it reverted back to Roman versus Cody. Anyhow, it just doesn't make sense to have Rock versus Roman at Mania. It did not make sense whatsoever.
Yeah.
41, yes. Let's see it at WrestleMania 41. Give me Rock Roman at 41 after Cody finishes his story.
I think I don't know. I think overall, I think they were planning on having Roman wrestle both nights originally, just to do like, okay, Roman versus whoever for the title, and then Roman versus The Rock for, head of the table. Who's the head of the table, the head of the bloodline. And then that's your story, which that story's right there.
Yeah.
Rock comes in, doesn't like what Roman's been doing, is the baby face. Rock was big head of the table back then. He wants to come back and take his rightful spot. Doesn't like how Roman's been doing things. And he challenges to him in a match at WrestleMania for the head of the table, which I think was supposed to happen last year.
I don't think Cody's going to SmackDown. I think Raw is a flagship show. I think the world title is going to get switched to SmackDown, and then the WWE title, Universal title, is going to go to Raw. Or Cody goes to SmackDown, but you draft other guys.
I think Cody's going to SmackDown, but Fox is moving to USA. No, SmackDown is moving to USA. So both are going to be on USA. And USA wants the world title or something like that.
Yeah. Either way, they're going to find a way to get Cody and Gunther on the same show. Because really, I think to end Cody's run, I think they want to get to... I'm pretty sure they want to get to Cody and Gunther. I really don't want to see... I have no desire to see Cody versus Randy Orton. You could probably tell a story there based on their history. Don't really want to see Cody versus AJ. I'm kind of over it. I think there's some more that you can do. We got Cody versus Seth. You can run that back. You could do something with Jay. You could do Cody versus Punk. Cody versus Drew. There's some good feuds that we can do. And then Cody versus Gunther, which I think they're going to get to. Yeah. So I really don't have no desire. Cody versus AJ. I'm over it. I'm kind of almost over Orton. But anyhow, rest of Raw rundown, guys. Make sure you like this. Feel free to throw your comments on all the other stuff that you may have liked tonight. Make sure you give us a like. How did you like the new set tonight? It was very minimal, but but the stage was very minimal, but looked very nice. I would welcome that every week.
Yeah.
And I think the reason why they did that is because they set up more seats behind the entrance in the upper level to try to pack the arena more. So it's pretty cool. That was the first thing I noticed right away. I don't know if they're going to do that every week. But Chicago is not a big building, but they're selling a lot of tickets. Like all these shows are getting sold out, so they want to pack in as many people as they possibly can. Cody versus Rock, maybe SummerSlam. I just need a reason why. I just need the reason why. Maybe they do it at Backlash, at one of those PLEs. It's going to be in France or Germany. They do have to sell seats for that. It's very possible. I'm not too sure if they wait till SummerSlam. It's 4 months away. I don't know. I don't know how they get to that. We'll have to see how that plays out. but I'll tell you this much: Cody does owe The Rock a receipt after tonight. So yeah, we had the new Raw set: JD McDonough versus Ricochet. Was very awesome, good match. Crowd got lit up with JD's Spanish Fly, followed by the Brainbuster. So JD had a good outing. Dom tries interfering. It shakes the rope. Ricochet lands in a fetal position on the top turnbuckle, but then recovers and does a crossbody shooting star press onto JD McDonough to get the win. This was a hot match. This is definitely a match worth going back and watching. I mean, there was a lot of mid-card matches, let's just be honest, on this show, but they were all quality. CM Punk comes out and he does his promo addressing the crowd, and I'm going to ask you a question about this in a second, but we had Drew McIntyre coming out, and then we have Seth coming out interrupting, and at least as of now they're preparing, setting up CM Punk to be at WrestleMania. As of this second doing commentary, I could easily see them doing special guest referee. They definitely teased it. I feel like Seth is probably losing the title to take a rest, a couple months off leading to SummerSlam, possibly. What do you think here? Where do you think Seth and Drew is going to go?
So between who's going to win that match,
yeah,
I really can see it going either way. But who's leaving with the title? Probably not either Drew or Seth, in my opinion. I think we're going to have a little bit of a little cash in.
Little cash in?
I think
it's very possible.
I think the full circle, WWE wants the full circle moment of Seth cashing in at WrestleMania 31 in the main event and having Damian Priest cash in on Seth Rollins in the main event, or main event as in main event for the world title. Just have that full circle moment, have Seth have something to fight back for, and Damian Priest having a WrestleMania moment.
Yeah, because you know what? It all makes sense because notice they haven't really been talking about Drew with the briefcase.
I like that.
So
I like that. I'm
that kind of makes the fans forget and just bring back the surprise element.
I love that. I love that they let them forget he has it and let it be more of a surprise. Let them make that moment. I love when there's a cash in and people are generally like, oh, wait, that can happen. And then it completely throws people off. And then they give that one little moment of the heel's about to cash in, the babyface gets hit, cover, kick out. And I'm like, okay, cool. Set up for a move. Reverse, hits a move. Babyface pins the heel. He kicks out thinking that, oh, maybe he's going to retain. Maybe he puts it into a triple threat, or Rollins retains and then he cashes in and it's another match or whatever will be. Like, I love the teasing of things. I love the, making the crowd think something's going to happen and then chopping them down and then making the ultimate outcome happen in the end. I love that stuff.
Yeah, so you figure if this is going to happen, you're going to have Judgment Day probably lose the tag titles night one.
Yeah.
And then you would have that happen in the beginning of the show, night 2. Seth
Drew
to open that show.
Having Judgment Day lose the tag titles.
Yeah, Jimmy versus Jay would open night 1. Possibly.
Probably night 1. I don't think opener.
You don't think so? Well, you know what? So I'm a traditionalist. I mean, I got WrestleMania 10 in my head. It would be a little throwback nod. It would be a good way. Yeah, it would be a good way to start the show hot. So I guess that's why I'm thinking about it.
People think that that's going to be like match of the whole weekend, Jay and Jimmy.
It's possible.
It's extremely possible.
And there's going to be shenanigans there in that match too as well. So it looks like we have Punk involvement. Yeah, I'm 100% on board. I wouldn't be surprised if Damian Priest cashes in and becomes the new World Heavyweight Champion because Drew and Damian Priest, I don't know if you remember during the holidays, they've been costing each other title matches a couple times, costing each other title matches, costing each other cash-ins, and I believe that's going to come full circle with Damian Priest cashing in at some point during the match, if not after Seth versus Drew. I would have to say more towards the end before the match ends. And he just lets these guys go and beat the crap out of each other. And then Damian Priest inserts himself as fresh as a daisy and takes that belt away. I could easily see that. Candice LeRae, she's basically heel now.
Yep.
And, she makes no bones about it, pulls off the win over Ivy Nile by cheating, faking an injury, and then Ivy Nile falls for it. But then you see Indy Hartwell while the referee's back turn. Indy Hartwell is basically outside ringside and torn whether to help Candice or not by attacking Ivy. We also saw Candice knock out Maxine. I have a feeling Indy Hartwell is going to turn, and they're going to be a heel tag team and future women's tag team title holders. I can definitely see that. So I feel like they're building to that. Who do you got coming out? So who do you have coming out of the men's tag team title match, the 6-pack ladder match at WrestleMania?
Well, I know they were saying, like, because it's a ladder match, they're going to have both titles up there, and then maybe have, like, two teams up there, and they both pull each title down, and that's how they separate the belts at Mania, which I wouldn't be surprised if they do that. But ultimately, I think just based off of the build of what's been happening on Raw right now with Judgment Day, I think Miz and Truth are probably going to win.
I feel like they're the most primed to probably win.
I think that's probably the direction they're going. Probably not going to be a long reign for them, if anything. But if anything, it'll be like Miz and Truth win the Raw titles, and then maybe give like the SmackDown titles to like, a SmackDown tag team like the New Day, just who will you'll know that they'll be able to have good matches and have a prominent role again on SmackDown because they're kind of getting lost in the fray of things.
For those of you guys that are watching, be sure to drop a like. That'll help us out. Give us a subscribe too if you're not subscribed already. That will help us out. Last week alone, we gained a bunch of subscribers, 7,000 views last week. So we had a hot week last week, and we're planning to be even hotter for WrestleMania, but not without you guys' help. So make sure you guys like, subscribe. If you can't watch us, check us out on our podcast. We're on Spotify. We're working on a Spotify thing. There's a little problem with that as far as our RSS feed goes, but you can definitely find us on iTunes as well. We had an episode last night, episode 108, and that is on iTunes, so you can go back and listen to that. But yeah, Chris, we are just about to hit our 4-year anniversary.
There you go.
It happens about WrestleMania. 4 years. Unbelievable. That we started this in 2020. We were just bored with nothing to do. We were like, let's start a podcast. Here we are, 4 years later,
How it always happens.
2024. And 110 episodes. We've done a lot more than 110 episodes, though. We're probably close to about 200 with our post shows, predictions, maybe even more. So we're hoping to get a 1-minute interview with Chris Van Vliet at WrestleCon. So I'm gonna try to slam my way into that. I'm sure he will not mind because we've had him on our show before. But anyhow, Andrade versus Giovanni. This was another mid-card match. I honestly didn't really kind of pay much attention to it. I was kind of listening to it. It was supposed to be Andrade versus Ivar. Ivar is out on a minor injury, but he'll be back very soon. and from what I gather, probably by WrestleMania or like the night after or something, very soon. Um, but yeah, Andrade with the win. They're building him up. Maybe he does something with Judgment Day. We'll have to see how that plays out. I think they will progress that more a little bit after WrestleMania, but they've been planting seeds for the past couple weeks now with that. Rhea had a great promo with Becky tonight. This makes me look forward to the two of them.
It's gonna be good.
Oh, it's gonna be good. She comes out in a promo and feels like she isn't. Rhea feels like she isn't getting any attention whatsoever. Rhea feels she could have attacked Becky at any time she wanted to get attention, but decided to be respectful. But now she's getting impatient. Becky comes back at Rhea saying, "There's nothing respectful about you," and Becky feels being a champion is to bust herself in the ring week after week. And Rhea says Becky reminds her of a cockroach, hard to kill, but not impossible, and will leave her alive so she can sit on her couch and watch Rhea do what she does while Becky is with her daughter, while her daughter calls Rhea mommy. And Becky just went off the hinges. And yes, we have been talking WrestleMania all throughout the show. We're talking about the WrestleMania build, Raw review, and we kind of threw some predictions in over the last 40 minutes or so. So be sure to go back and check that out and leave your comments and give us a like. But anyhow, so Becky flies off the hinges, and one thing leads to another. Becky gives Rhea one last warning, and then it just leads up. Becky punches Dominic in the face, and then that leads to Becky and Rhea brawling. And I was eating it up. I was loving every bit of it. We had the classic pull apart with the refs. So yes, I'm looking forward to this match. And boy, I don't know. This is a tough one to call. I'm slightly leaning towards Rhea Ripley, just so that she can have that good feather in the cap win over Becky at Mania. Because if you look at the list of names that that Rhea's beaten over the past year, Nia Jax, Baszler's, she hasn't gotten that big win since beating Charlotte. Rhea's been getting herself over due to character work, due to Judgment Day, and stuff like that. But I feel like this would be a big win, a big notch on her belt to get this win over Becky at Mania. It could go the other way, but if Seth is taking a break, Becky might take a break too. So I'm trying to figure that all out as well.
I don't know. I think Becky is. I think Becky's probably winning it. I think it's one of those things where, like,
and Rhea's had the belt since last Mania, so
yeah, no, she's been a great champ. Like, she's been doing excellent work, and it also doesn't mean that, like, Rhea won't get a rematch and maybe win it back in the next couple of months. You know what I mean? They can easily do something like that, like build it up to SummerSlam again, and maybe have Rhea win it back. Like, you can do whatever. Like, it doesn't have to be a long run for Becky. Becky's done enough. Becky's in, like, everything possible as a woman right now, except for, like, maybe win Money in the Bank. But, I mean, it's going to be a great match. So
I think this year's Money in the Bank is going to Tiffany Stratton. But
that'd be great. She's great. She's doing great work.
I feel like she's getting primed.
She's doing great work.
Comment from Angel. My favorite is Cody Rhodes. Yeah, I mean he's hot right now. And Taker, and as much as we want Roman Reigns to lose, it's time for him to lose. But Roman Reigns had such a great run as champ, but it was getting a little frustrating at times. Him being around not as much and not defending that title. That belt is ready to come off. I believe should come off. Logan Paul's growing on me personally.
Yeah,
and the work that he's doing, his pompous attitude, I get a charge out of that. And Seth Rollins, he's doing some good work. He's kind of hit or miss with me sometimes, but he's doing some good work. Has some great matches, and same with KO. He's hit or miss with me sometimes too, but there's no denying that KO is great at what he does. So you got some good choices there, my friend. We are basically coming towards the end. The last thing we'll talk about is Sami Zayn and Gable have been having this confrontation, kind of, sort of, and Gunther running around on TV backstage, saying he has no interest in watching the Sami Zayn versus Bronson Reed match. Gunther doesn't believe Sami can beat him. Gunther says that the fans don't believe that Sami can beat Gunther, and that nobody believes in Sami, not even Sami himself. And Sami goes out and has a great match with Bronson Reed, but until Gunther comes out and distracts Sami, Bronson Reed gets the win there. And you see Sami very frustrated in a segment or two after that. And, Gable's trying to set him straight and be like, you know what? You got to go in a different direction with this. So, that being said, let's see where they go with that, what the game plan is. If it stays one-on-one, maybe it becomes triple threat. I don't know. But we'll see what happens there. I'm not too sure or keen. I can't tell you for sure if Gunther's going to... I think he retains. They may push him to a 2-year champion, but if they're gonna go in a direction where I think they're gonna go with have him against Cody, Gunther is gonna have to lose at some point. I think you do it in the form of a triple threat, so you protect them for the next title run.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I like Gunther is like really, really good. Like he's a good champion, everything like that. Like I wouldn't be surprised if he won.
CV every week. Every time he's advertised to wrestle.
I wouldn't be surprised if he retained at Mania, but also I love, and they do this all the time, and Sami Zayn is so great at it. I love how they build certain underdog stories.
Mm-hmm.
And Sami is just really, really great at selling that product to the audience and believing that, he's being defeated and, he doesn't believe in himself. And then on the grandest stage of them all, in the biggest match, he needs to overcome the odds, and then he does it, just like Cody and, Becky or whoever else, overcomes the odds of, trying to get that big win that they need to get to the next step. And I feel like they'll do that if Sami and Gunther stays a singles match. If it's Gable added into it, there's a little bit more of an added feature of Gunther possibly retaining, and then Sami, going off the diving board and going into the deep end, and maybe getting a Sami Zayn heel turn because he's so frustrated with how everything's been going on, and you get Sami versus Gable, which would be great. I don't know. You could do a lot with it, but overall, I think just sticking with the singles match, doing an underdog story, and just having Sami, beat Gunther and have it be a big moment for him is a good idea.
Imagine they have Sami win the IC belt, and then they have Sami belt up for the next year for the world title belt.
Sami as world heavyweight champion would not be a bad idea.
Yeah, not as a world title holder. I mean, WWE, the belt that Cody's I believe is going to win, but the belt that Roman's holding, to me, is the most important belt.
I don't see Sami winning that one, though. He would win the one that Rollins got.
Yes. Yep. And I think Sami has proved himself to be in the main event spot. I think Raw's got a great crop of stars right now. Mm-hmm. So I hope the draft doesn't ruin it too much, to be honest. But anyhow, that pretty much covers everything that we need to talk about. Chris, anything like else that you think you may want to add, prediction wise? Anything? Any emotional outbursts that you need to do? Anything?
I don't know. I mean, the one thing I've said from the beginning, and this is just personally me, but I want Little Uzi Vert to be at WrestleMania because it's in Philadelphia.
What was that again?
I said I want Lil Uzi Vert to be at WrestleMania because it's in Philadelphia.
Who's that?
He's a rapper.
You know what? They announced like some kind of musical artist tonight. I think towards like it was like around 10:20 or so. Like in one of those commercials, they announced that a
He
musical.
performed last year,
Yeah.
and it was out of nowhere. And then he had a backstage interview, and he was like, he's hearing like a lot of celebrities, doing wrestling. He said he wanted to possibly wrestle. Eventually, he maybe wanted to wrestle. He said he wanted to wrestle against Dominic Mysterio. What he said he wanted his match to be.
Interesting.
That's not going to happen, most likely. So.
Oh, so I got some news. Next year's WrestleMania, according to Fightful Select today, they announced it's not an official announcement. We're not throwing it out there. Neither did Fightful. But next year's WrestleMania 41 could very well. It's looking like it's going to be Minneapolis, Minnesota, home of the Minnesota Vikings for WrestleMania 41 is looking like to be the likely destination for next year's WrestleMania. So I'm excited about that.
Cool.
Reason being, it's because I've never been. And two, I need to get another baseball stadium out of the way. So
very nice.
These WrestleManias have helped me visit baseball parks around the stadium as well. I love going to other sporting events whenever WrestleMania is in a certain city. It's things to do. But anyhow, Chris, thank you so much for joining tonight. For those of you guys that are looking for the next installment for a Raw post show, we will be back 2 weeks from tonight. That will be the go home. Raw after WrestleMania, the Raw after Mania. Yeah, so that'll be the final show of WrestleMania weekend. Monday Night Raw from Philadelphia. I will not be there. I will be watching from the comfort of my home. I should be there, but whatever. Anyway, but I will be at night 1 and night 2 WrestleMania. So I'm very excited about that. So there'll be a lot to talk about there as well. It's gonna be a very busy weekend. We're gonna do a post show night 1, post show night 2, Raw post show. It's gonna be a crazy weekend, but I'm excited. So expect those shows to happen. For those of you guys that are watching, be sure to give us a like and share, and we will be seeing you guys all very soon, more than likely WrestleMania week. But beforehand, next week sometime, probably around Tuesday, Wednesday, we will have a prediction show for you guys. Cannot wait. We are just 12 days away from WrestleMania. How about that? Unbelievable. Chris, catch you later. Till next time.
Awesome, man. Thanks, guys, for watching. Have a good one.